Hi guys, and welcome back to Reality Authority. This is episode 5. Thanks for joining us. We're still covering the Quest Season 1 and a very accelerated quest.
Yeah.
They've moved to 2 episodes a night for some reason, and we're not sure if it's for football. We like having 2 episodes of the quest a night, but we're kind of concerned as to what that means for a possible Season 2.
8 running periods total.
Yeah.
Just really short.
And very brief. At this point, if you're watching the quest and it gets to the end of the episode and you're really excited and they're having a great time, you should be pretty well informed that something is about to go down. And frankly, I think we agree, it's getting a little predictable, a little boring.
It's been a running theme for the entire show that they've picked up these conventions over time that weren't necessarily there during the first episode, and then they've kind of stuck with them and made them part of the formula.
Yeah.
And it's gotten to the point where we would almost be confused, I think, if nothing happened as a cliffhanger at the end of an episode.
I think there's still some creative ways that you can do it. I mean, I think the formula is great, but there are other ways, other intrigues that don't have to be like, oh, there's this huge crisis. Well, tune in next episode. It just feels very fake. Speaking of that strategy of crisis leading into the next episode, for the first time that I can think, something really major happened with the competition to where it kind of played into the storyline as opposed to, hey, this is a training exercise. What did you think of them using the competition for saving the castle and finding the fire orbs and kind of using that as part of the challenge?
I think in the moment I didn't even realize that this was the first challenge that was actually not a training exercise. It actually had supposedly consequences. Wait a minute, no. Because they had to find the potion for the queen.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But it seems like they're gradually moving toward, more actual consequential events. Right. And I'm actually kind of hoping that, during the last 2 episodes, they kind of leave the castle and go on some kind of adventure outside.
Both challenges I really enjoyed, and I think they hold more weight than just the training exercises. And I agree that the setting is getting a little old. It'd be nice to see them out somewhere. On the topic of Christian, he was once one of our favorites. However,
he started as the favorite, right?
Yeah, yep. Number 1, week 1. What'd you think of his look good amongst weak people strategy?
It would be one thing if he had obviously brought that up to his supposed alliance members, but it seems like he just kind of decided to go that route in the moment and then figured that the people that he's been hanging out with would have his back regardless.
I mean, I think he told them as well. I got the impression that he told them because they were bringing it up in their own diaries. I completely disrespected it. It's against the idea of the show. If you want to strategize and even make alliances, that's one thing. But to kind of go underhanded and be dishonest about it, it really was just a huge turnoff.
Right. Well, I think it's careful what you wish for, because originally we were hoping that some players would kind of take a more gameplay metagame approach to the thing,
right?
While still keeping true to the fantasy theme. But I think that what Christian did, it would not really fly in another, gameplay-centric reality show either, because it was just so overt.
Effectively, what he did is he threw the challenge. He threw the challenge, and if you watch Big Brother, that happens a lot, and I can promise you that if you don't let your alliance know that you're going to throw the challenge, you're out. So you touched on a nifty little note right before we started recording. I'll let you...
What was it? Oh, yeah.
Bad, hold it.
Yeah, so there's been 6 people eliminated at this point. There's been 6 challenges. 6 badges have been awarded, and actually none of the people that were banished have been people that have won challenges. The integrity of the badges has been kept in that the stronger paladins, the ones that are winning challenges, have been the ones that have stayed up until now. I mean, we're at the point where 5 of the 6 people left in the game are badge holders, so unless Patrick is the next one banished, then we're looking at finally getting rid of someone who has a badge.
So do you think, and this is a question really for you guys as well as Dan, but do you think that is a consequence of the construction of the game? And the mechanics, and maybe it's just it favors the badge holders too much, or it's just a coincidence, or do you think that those people are just generally better at the game?
I wonder, because the only way that it would favor the badge holders is that the other players have an increased perception of those other players when it comes time to voting. Because otherwise the badges don't have any weight during challenges. It's just been the people that were more competitive have been more likely to win challenges.
Do you think that that had any effect on saving Bonnie?
Yeah, so I think her winning the first challenge, actually, there is this phenomenon in especially Big Brother where if you are the winner of the first head of household competition, everyone flocks to you to make alliances. And I think,
let me pause you and say that that's a documented thing.
It's a huge statistical advantage that a lot of people underestimate.
Dan's done the science.
Yeah.
So anyway.
But, even without the vested power that would come with a head of household victory, her winning that first challenge really gave her a place among the other paladins where she could kind of foster relationships more easily. And
finally, a 2-episode long ranking of the paladins. So we'll be ranking everyone from Thursday night. That'll include 8 people. And I guess we go ahead and get started. So in last place, if you haven't picked up on the fact already, it is Christian. We've already touched on him. We're not going to go much into him any further. Yeah. Not a fan. At 7th place, Letitia. She's been, low on our list all season. It makes me feel badly. I'm sure she's a really nice person. She seems very nice on Twitter, but not bringing a whole lot to the show.
Yeah, I actually don't mind her at all as a person. I think that, she's grown on me slowly over time, but at the same time, the other paladins have too. Mm-hmm. So it's like, everyone, for the most part, is likable at this point.
So we said goodbye to Adria. I can say that, at least for me, I was heartbroken. She was kind of dry. She was very serious and took the game seriously, which was a benefit, but to me, it wasn't a whole lot of fun to watch.
I really empathized with her when she kind of self-reflected the fact that she has been squeaking by, which is kind of...
That's true.
It's, everyone was thinking that.
There's a positive side to being serious. She really wanted to win the game.
Right.
Which is cool. So it seems, for whatever reason, every single week, our muscle guys get tied up between the two of us. And Shondo and Andrew are both tied for 4th.
Really?
Yeah. So which is your favorite of the two?
Well, First I want to kind of mention that I think they're pretty much verging on the same character at this point. Maybe?
I don't know. I think that Andrew is more warrior to be a warrior, and I think Shondo's actually more into the game than he has been.
Yeah. I think a few times this past 2 episodes, Shondo has kind of mentioned outright that he's not really focusing on his personal gain at all. He's like strictly objective. Yeah. He's going for the people that, really deserve to be there. Whereas Andrew is kind of like still
playing the game
for himself.
Hardcore, yeah. The only person that can give Bonnie a run for her money in terms of watchability and likability and positivity is Lena, and she comes in 3rd this week. That was it. Talk.
Lena was kind of slow to start up, I think. She had a few moments, I think, during the first episode, and then, since that, she's been kind of quiet. But obviously she won the last 2 challenges, and all of her FaceTime while doing that was very positive. I guess it's just she's not a very loud person when she doesn't need to be.
She's really likable, but maybe not as much of a big personality, and for reality shows you get lost if you're not one.
Also, today I noticed that she looks like a halfling. Like, her facial structure is straight up, it's Lida from the D&D 3.5 handbook, and
Wait, what did you call Jasmine? What didn't you call her like a dwarf or something?
She was like a hobbit because she's
they're all halflings.
No, they're not. At most, Jasmine and Lena are.
Oh, I'm sorry.
If you want to see what I'm talking about, just Google like D&D 3.5 Lida with 2 Ds, and you'll see what I mean.
Our top 2 spots go to the besties forever. Number 2 is Patrick. He is loving and genuine and nice.
I think his interactions with Bonnie have, brought him a lot of attention on the show. Yeah. I think, you know, again, especially during the last few episodes, when Bonnie was in trouble, he really came to her aid.
Anyone who's nice to Bonnie is a friend in our book. And lastly, of course, it's Bonnie. We actually had an interview with her, and we have footage of that, but the quality is not good. So we're going to see what we can do to get that up for you. But Bonnie is just so insanely lovable. When she's writing songs like she writes and adding so much to the show, not only is she likable and fun and just incredible, but she's also just great for the show. I think she really brings a level of entertainment that the others don't bring.
She's added so much to the show beyond, you know, the initial script, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, she's added so many unscripted story elements.
Yeah.
She's interacting with the characters in a meaningful way.
She's so invested.
Awesome.
It's awesome.
Also, get well soon.
Yeah, so Bonnie did have a little bit of work done recently. She was sick, and Bonnie, we're thinking about you and hope that you get better soon. So that will cover it for episode 5 of Reality Authority, and that covers what, episodes 5 and 6 of the quest. So thank you guys for watching, and soon be looking for that interview with Bonnie and an expose on the new Survivor cast. Thanks. Bye.
Lates.